All right, let's talk the game. What you think, Power King? Because this is your first time with it. Night Stars played it.
Out of here.
And okay.
Right. You're still
Yeah,
recording, right,
Parkane.
IG?
Yep.
Okay,
I just muted the game sound because it was loud for me.
that's
and
cool. It was
It's
loud for me
still-
too. And
It's still going for the recording, so yeah.
We
But
don't get a Power Cane after IG after game podcast. It's only the pre-game podcast.
this is the Second Gen Geeks After Game Podcast, aka clipped and labeled review.
Oh,
Come
I
on,
need
give
some
it to me,
food
Power
rations.
Cane.
I need some food rations.
Give it to me. I want to know what you thought of the game. And knowing there's a second one, how much do you think you'd want to know this? What happens next?
I would for the story, yeah, but from what you guys described, the gameplay, like I don't think I could be able to watch the whole gameplay. You know?
Yeah, no, yeah, that's bad enough. But the story also is really shitty as hell.
the gameplay's actually good in that game.
Well, here's what I can say. If the game's bad, the second game's bad, I am looking forward to the TV show.
Yeah, they have a chance to fix it. That's what I'm thinking. Like, I mean, because no, they make some in the second one without. Here you go. If anybody is still watching, get away because I'm gonna do a spoiler alert. Here are the problems I have with number 2. First of all, after you go through this and you have this emotional tie to these characters and you watch this and you see this and you know it ends on this type of a cliffhanger, and when you enter into number 2, yes, you have some satisfying answers, okay, that are given to you there regarding, I mean, just a couple things. Like, we find out that Ellie's in love. She's a lesbian. She and Joel aren't exactly seeing eye to eyes because she's figured out that he lied to her. But what happens
spoiler
really
alert, by the way.
bad, I already said that.
Okay.
I said that when I started talking. It's just you listen to me in this as much as you do anything else.
I did it in.
I literally said it twice. Okay.
I'm very hungry
Wow,
right
guys,
now,
glad you listened
and
to me.
not. I'm just kind of
Okay.
sitting
Anyways,
back
what
and
I was gonna
realizing
say,
that I beat
what
it.
ends up happening is you get into the game, and all of a sudden there's like, there's this problem that you end off in this one with, and they just kill Joel brutally, just freaking relentlessly, unnecessarily fucking murder Joel. Now you'd think, okay, that's fucking crappy as hell. So you think it's got to play to the story, right? Not really. Not really at all. So you go through and basically Ellie wants to know who did this. So she goes to hunt them, ends up finding out that it is the daughter to the doctor who he shoots to save her life. And then at that point, this girl has been hunting him, this girl that killed Joe, her name is Abby. After you get to that point and you find out who she is, it makes you start all the way back over at the beginning and play as her and hunt Ellie. It's awful. And after that's all said and done, come up on a time, Ellie's one finger short, looking like she's going to be able to enjoy her happy home at the farmland. They've got a family because the girl she fell in love with was pregnant because she, before she was with Ellie, she was with somebody else, obviously. But they have a happy family and everything is fine. And Ellie won't let vengeance go and loses everything. And the game ends in the most full of despair. Ellie is alone. She has nothing. She had it all. She could have been a happy life. Like, it was going to be a happy life for her. And she just is miserable. The end. Horrible. So yeah. I mean, like I said, I warned about spoilers. So, but all I'm saying is that freaking it was really dissatisfying. Like, even though this one leaves off in a cliffhanger, you're more satisfied at the end of this game than you feel. Because the other thing is, it's really drawn out and long. It's like a parallel. So everything that, like, I think IG played for 6 or 8 hours maybe. and then turned around and thought we were getting to the end of the game where we were just going to beat it. And nope, before they even let you get to the absolute finish, so you can complete one storyline or another, they flip you back, and now you've got to be the chick that you just have fucking grown to hate in the game. Like, you just want her dead so bad, and now you have to be her. And I guess, I mean, it's poetic in the sense of now you have to walk a mile in her shoes, kind of sense. But at the same time, the story, it's not what people, I mean, well, I don't think many people, that's not the gameplay experience that they had come to expect from The Last of Us. So.
Well, I really don't like the story because the writer Neil Druckmann didn't handle it in a very nice way. Like, I get certain things they did in the story just from like a story aspect and whatnot.
Yeah.
But Neil Druckmann, like, after people were kind of upset with it and was like, this isn't like fun. Like, this is just the awful fucking experience. Like, just to like watch happen. Like, you know, everything's so sad. And Neil Druckmann basically went to Twitter and was all like, I believe it was Neil Druckmann. Someone on the writing team was just all like, games aren't meant to be fun all the time. And I was like, what? That is literally what they were made to be.
You guys don't know what you want, line.
Yeah. I was all like, dude, what is that even mean? You are just, that is stupid. That is a stupid take. You make video games, and I guess video games aren't meant to be fun all the time, guys. You know? Sometimes you're supposed to feel sad, I guess, while playing a video game. Because that's exactly what I want to do after a hard day's work. Go sit down and cry on the couch for a couple hours.
No, and it was so bad. And neither one of them end up happy. Like, you come down to it where it just gets relentless over and over. You're hunting the chick. Because after you complete the chick storyline, then you go back to being Ellie. And you see that Ellie could live happily ever after. And Tommy shows up at the door and is like, aren't you going to do something? They killed my brother. And Ellie makes the choice, even with stipulations, where her girlfriend or whatever is like, basically like, I can't do this anymore because Ellie's suffering from trauma and hiding in their barn and crap because she's still having terrors from fucking what she's been through. Yes, fun game, 10 out of 10. Everybody wants to have that freaking experience.
I feel like the story is just unnecessarily cruel. I don't think it's necessarily a bad story. It's just not a fun experience.
No, you know what? I could have gotten over them. I could have gotten over them killing Joel, like, with the explanation. And if it was done where, you know, like, it could have been done where Ellie gets to the end of it and is like, I'm going to be better than this, you know, or whatever. You know what I mean? But I could have done with any of that. I could have done with the way they took the story. I probably still would have been a little bit mad, but if they added an extra induced set of rage for having, and like I said, artistically speaking, it's very creative, but it doesn't matter because you know what? The other people do. Okay, you're right. People don't want to sit and cry and be sad and depressed over, you know, when they play video games. But the other thing is a lot of people like to take video games as an outlet for their aggression. So when you get that invested in something where you are like, you know, like releasing energy, and then they're like, no, if you continue, you have to be her. It like induces a whole second level of rage. You know, like you've been so hating her. Now you hate her even more. Like as if it's possible, you know? It's just, it was bad. Like, you know, I mean, even if they would have done it where you could have had the choice, where it was like an old Resident Evil 2 flip-flop, whatever, you know, even if they did that, then I think it could have been better. But because you could have chose. Do you want to finish the storyline as Ellie and not even worry about Abby? But no, in order to find out how the story ends, you have to play both freaking characters. That's stupid.
I
mean, give me a little bit of a choice. I get what you're trying to do, but don't force your viewers into it. If you did something good enough, the second part you want to thrive.
The story that they were I think the story they were trying to tell was it was a good story. It was just poorly executed. There was just lots of moments where it's just like it doesn't make any sense.
Yep.
Like one moment.
I mean, the message could have still been made and clear without the level of like literal misery and tragedy that comes with the game.
I mean, my problem with the game is the story that they like tried to tell made sense. Like, and it's okay not to tell like a happy, lighthearted story all the time. I mean, some stories are more gritty and whatnot. But I think the problem that I have with it is because Abby later just becomes to have a Joel and Ellie relationship with a new kid that she saved from like this group of people who have been like treating him poorly. So now this girl, like Abby, who we hate, now has like this kid and has this Joel Ellie relationship with this kid. So you don't. So they try to make you win back on Abby's side, like, oh, Abby's not that bad, kind of thing.
Yeah, they try to take you like in this full circle that's like got 7,000 different detours and freaking like more of a fucking 3D object. And I'm just saying, like,
but
I don't know. Like
the thing
it would have been a great thing. I do agree with you, IG. Like you said, like the story that's there, I totally agree with the fact that it could have been good, but was poorly executed for so many different ways.
My biggest example of it, though.
Go ahead.
My biggest example is obviously Abby and Ellie are meant to be like parallel in some way throughout the game. So in the game, obviously we're spoilers, but in the game, Ellie ends up killing this pregnant woman who was Abby's friend without realizing that she was pregnant. And in the game, it literally shows like Ellie is like sick to her stomach when it happens. Like she realizes what she done and like it's enough to make her just quit right then and there. But then Abby, who we've been playing through and see this relationship with this girl like that they have with her and whatnot, she finds out that Ellie has killed her friend who was pregnant and chases after her and gets a hold of Ellie's love who's pregnant. And when Ellie says, stop, she's pregnant, Abby literally looks at her and says, good. Like, literally, like, an eye for situation. Like,
yeah.
Even though we don't get to see, Abby doesn't get to see Ellie's reaction, it's just, you can't redeem someone who does that. You cannot literally make me feel like I can be on the side with someone who is literally hell-bent on killing, like she literally wanted to kill a baby right there. Against someone's will.
Yeah.
She just didn't care. She was all like, oh, she's pregnant? Great. That's amazing. That's exactly what I've been waiting for. A pregnant lady to kill.
Yeah.
Again, they give her reasoning. Like, I understand why she's doing it.
Then they try to justify the why when you're like experiencing it. Yeah, exactly. And that's the problem.
They try to justify it. I'm sorry. I'm not siding with the baby killer here, guys. Like when Ellie did it,
especially after. Okay, whoa, hold on. But the reason behind that is more importantly because you have gone through this first game, so you know it all. You know what I mean? Like the minute that Joel is killed, you want that bitch's ass. You know what I'm saying? Like it is like we chased her when you played that game. All we wanted to do was fucking kill her. That's all we wanted to do is just get a chance to kill her. After what she did
until she met that kid. When she met that kid, we kind of like they could have done so much better if they just would have left it at that. Like
I believe the way that we left. I think the way when we were streaming, what we said is, "Oh crap! Well, we still don't like you, but that's cool."
Yeah, kind of thing. I think the biggest problem with it was that like they just made Abby seem so irredeemable. Like they were trying to redeem her, yet they weren't helping the situation at all.
Yeah.
It's so hard. It was just so hard. And even then, looking back on the game story and everything, Joel was incorrect. Like, to be completely honest, how we feel about wanting to kill Abby because Abby killed Joel, we as Joel in the first game literally did that to her. So you can, if you put yourself in her shoes, you want to kill her because, we knew Joel.
But that's what I'm saying. They tried to take it a full circle and they could have. They
definitely could have.
But they failed.
They really needed to make Abby more sympathetic after having that kid. But she literally wanted to murder a pregnant woman. Like, with no remorse tied to it. Like, she didn't even stop and think. It was her like, kid companion who was all like, bro, this is fucking messed up. What the hell are you doing? Kind of thing that made her stop. But she literally, like, the fact that she was, like, almost encouraged to do it it sets me off. Like, I can't. Like, I saw when when Ellie kills the pregnant lady and whatnot, Ellie literally vomits and tells everybody at like their stronghold that it's over and she doesn't care anymore. She can't do it because she realized that she's gone too far. But then Abby comes in and doesn't have that same reaction. She's like, oh, pregnant lady, cool. Eye for an eye all the time. Let me kill her. Without thinking, like, this might not be a good idea. It ruins the redemption because now I'm just all like, well, she's crazy. There's no remorse. She's just a crazy person.
But if you delve in deeper to it, you have to realize that the circle of the fact that she wouldn't be if Joel maybe didn't kill her dad, who was trying to save the universe.
I mean, yeah, definitely, but I mean, it was just a domino effect.
I mean, the idea of the game was great. Everybody was so hyped for it that played the first one. It was a letdown. That's the point. It was a real letdown, and it was done so badly that, like, especially after watching this again, you know, like, I'm like, wow, like, I have so much more appreciation for this game now, but it makes me even hate the next one even more because this is so good. Like, they had a formula that they were using, and it would have been just as equally cool to watch it flip and go a different way where it goes backwards, where it makes a full circle without so many freaking damn Venn diagrams going on within it, you know? But like, because in the beginning, the other thing that we should mention, I guess, you know, again, spoiler alerts, but the other thing that we should mention is that we know that Joel is trying so hard in the beginning of number 2 to earn Ellie's forgiveness. So bad. And she won't do it. She won't forgive him. Because if she had had a choice, she would have stayed if it could have possibly saved the world. She would have donated her body to science if she had been given the choice, is what we basically find out. But she understands why Joel does it, but she doesn't understand why he lied to her about it. And so she basically kind of hates him. And then he gets brutally, okay, that's the other side of things. It's not like they came in and they just shot him, you know, or whatever. He is brutally fucking murdered in the beginning of number 2.
I mean,
and it's like, you know, I don't know.
I mean, it's completely a full circle thing because, like, yeah, you say that, like, yeah, he's brutally murdered, but I mean, it's the exact same thing we want to do to fucking Abby. It's all just full circle. That's why the game is creative in that sense. That's what I'm saying. From an artistic and creative manner, that's what makes the game. I get what they were trying to do, but it did not leave me feeling good at the end. And there is enough shit in the world. Like, they could have, like we said, they could have executed it better. But in the end, there is way too much going on in the world that is so bad that you don't need to have, like, you know, I'm not saying it had to be a happy ending even. I'm just saying it didn't have to go to certain extremes. It just goes to a way too big extreme.
Yep. This one, there's a lot more of those same kind of messages given in a much more subtle storytelling manner where they try to take it over to a visual graphic and extreme cinematic kind of level on the second one. And they didn't need to do it. They really didn't. You know,
in multiple areas, it's just distasteful.
To be perfectly honest with you, this first game is actually not a happy ending either, is it really? Is it really? Because we know she knows that he lied to her. He probably has to know that she knows, but doesn't have proof. And she just says, okay. And we know that this is a problem. You know what I mean? It's very obvious. And it took them forever to make the second one. And then when they did, I guess that's the other part. Like, I get that this is an apocalyptic world, but they are actually, you know, like, how they change and whatever. This seems so off character. You know what I mean? Yeah, things change and whatever, but it seems so out of character for like how it goes. Like the Ellie who we see, like you said, the Ellie who throws up, the Ellie who says I'm done, the Ellie who turns around, you know, like, and then all of a sudden she's like, no, blood for blood, because why? Like, why does her character go that route? You know what I mean? Like, it's like, I don't know.
I think my only problem with number 2's story is, like, they just messed up Abby too much. Abby needed to, in order for the story to work the way they wanted it to, is they need Abby to just be a better person. Like, they needed that kid that Abby gets throughout that game. They needed that kid to change Abby and make Abby grow. Therefore, both of them could have lived nicely.
Yes. Yeah. Yep. Nailed it.
You could still even have...
Okay. All right, kid.
Yeah. We probably should end this, yeah. I was just going to say, you could still even have
say,
Ellie go out and grab her.
And you already are grumpy enough.
Yeah, no. Yeah.
I would say, hey, watch for The Last of Us 2 content, but it's not coming. It's not coming. I'm not asking anybody in our group to play that game. I don't want to see it again. And there's nothing in the world, so this will be where The Last of Us content stops. Cause nope, we will never play it again. Yeah, too bad. So sad. Come on, Naughty Dog. I like you.
And if you guys want to know more interesting facts on The Last of Us and get even deeper into this game's story, go over to the Infinite Gamer 326 channel and check out what is The Last of Us.
Actually, if they've been watching all of these, they'll know that where that is because it pops up in 15 minutes into every one of The Last of Us episodes in a card. So it's good. Well, they know what they're doing, IG. They got it.
All right, I'm stopping the recording then. I'm out of here. I'm getting food. I'm gonna go eat a sandwich.
The number of confirmed deaths has passed 200. The governor has called a state of emergency.
There are hundreds and hundreds of bodies lining the streets.
Panic spread worldwide.